Marcus woke up with dirt under his fingernails. His legs ached, the deep, burning kind you get after a long run. But his phone, chirping happily on the nightstand, told him he'd slept perfectly through the night. Then he saw the map. A thin red line stretching from his apartment, showing he'd walked 2 miles across the city at 2 a.m. The problem was, he had absolutely no memory of leaving his bed. It all started 3 weeks ago. After another night of lying awake, doom-scrolling until 3 a.m., Marcus finally caved and downloaded SleepSync. It was one of those trendy apps his girlfriend, Emma, swore by. It tracks your sleep, analyzes your REM cycles, and gives you a wellness score. You know the type, the ones that tell you you're re-sleeping like garbage and then try to sell you the premium membership. Emma would show him her perfect sleep graphs like they were A+ report cards. "Best sleep of my life," she'd say. So he thought, why not? The setup was simple. Phone on the nightstand, grant location permissions for circadian rhythm optimization, allow access to health data. He didn't think twice about clicking allow all. And that first night, he slept like a baby. 10 solid hours. He woke up feeling incredible, greeted by a 98% sleep quality score. For 2 glorious weeks, it was a miracle. His scores never dropped below 95%. He had more energy. He was hitting the gym. He felt like a functional human being again. Then came Tuesday. Marcus woke up feeling wrong, foggy, disconnected. His mouth was dry and his legs ached. He grabbed his phone, and SleepSync's cheerful interface popped up. 96% sleep quality. Another excellent night. But then his eye caught something new. Below the graph was a nighttime activity map. A blue dot showed his apartment, but a red path snaked away from it, ending 2 miles away. The timestamp read 2:17 a.m. to 3:42 a.m. "Must be a glitch," he muttered. But the ache in his legs felt real. And when he looked down, he saw fresh dirt under his toenails. Marcus lived on the 4th floor, in the city. There was no dirt in his bedroom. His heart started hammering. He zoomed in on the map. The red pin dropped on a residential area he didn't recognize. Foster Street. House number 247. He'd never been there in his life. He shot a screenshot to Emma. "Did you see anything weird in your app? Like nighttime activity tracking?" The little dots appeared, disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, her reply. "What are you talking about? My app doesn't show that." A cold dread washed over him. He called in sick, unable to stop staring at that red line. He had to know what was at 247 Foster Street. Pulling up Google Maps, Street View showed a normal 2-story house. Gray siding, small front yard. Nothing strange. But as he was about to close the window, he noticed something. In the front window of the house, barely visible behind the curtains, was a figure. Just standing there, watching. It felt like they were looking directly at him, through the screen. That night, Marcus almost deleted the app. But he had to know. He set up his old laptop to record his bed and stretched a piece of tape across his bedroom door at ankle height. If he left, he'd have proof. He finally drifted off, his mind racing. He woke with a jolt at 6 a.m. The tape across his door was broken. His heart nearly exploded. With trembling hands, he scrubbed through the laptop footage. There it was. 2:14 a.m. He watched himself sit up in bed, but his movements were too smooth, too deliberate. He stood up, walked to the door, broke the tape without a sound, and left. The video showed an empty room for nearly 2 hours. Then, at 3:51 a.m., he walked back in, got into bed, and lay down. 5 minutes later, his eyes opened as if he were waking up for the very first time. He had no memory of any of it. He checked SleepSync, his hands shaking uncontrollably. The red path was there again. Same route, same destination. 247 Foster Street. What was happening to him? And what was waiting for him at that house? Marcus had to go there. He had to see what was at that house, what he was doing there while some part of him was asleep and some other part was walking around like a puppet. He drove to Foster Street at noon when the sun was bright and everything felt safe and normal. The house looked exactly like it had in Google Maps: gray siding, small yard, curtains drawn. Marcus sat in his car for 20 minutes, trying to work up the courage to knock on the door. What would he even say? "Hi, I think I've been sleepwalking to your house at 2 a.m. They'd call the cops. Or worse. But before he could decide, the front door opened. A woman stepped out. Middle-aged, wearing a cardigan despite the warm weather. She looked directly at his car, directly at Marcus, and she smiled. Not a friendly smile, something else. Something that made every instinct in Marcus's body scream at him to drive away, to floor it, and never come back. She walked toward his car. He should have left. Should have started the engine and gotten the hell out of there. But Marcus was frozen, watching her approach in his side mirror. She knocked on his window. He rolled it down an inch. "Can I help you?" His voice cracked. "You've been coming to visit," she said. Her voice was soft, almost grandmotherly. "Every night for a week now. I thought it was time we formally met. I don't know what you're talking about, don't you?" She tilted her head. "You stand in my backyard, by the shed, for about an hour. Then you leave. You've been very punctual." Marcus's blood turned to ice. "That's not possible. Your phone knows," she said, and something in her smile shifted. "SleepSync is such a wonderful app, isn't it? Helps you sleep so well. Helps you do all sorts of things you don't remember." He stared at her. "What did you do to me?" "Me? Nothing. I just benefit from your visits. You're not the only one, you know. There are hundreds of you, all over the city, all sleeping so soundly while you work." "Work?" The word came out as a whisper. She leaned closer to his window. Marcus could smell something sweet and rotten on her breath. "Did you think better sleep came for free? Every night, you do a little task, dig a little hole, move a little package, deliver a little message, and you sleep like a baby. Fair trade, don't you think?" Marcus finally found his voice. "I'm deleting that app right now. You could try," she said, straightening up. "But you won't. Because the sleep is so good, isn't it? Better than anything you've ever had. Probably just a glitch." She walked back to her house. The door closed behind her. Marcus sat in his car, shaking, and pulled out his phone. He found SleepSync in his apps, held his finger over it, and hesitated, because she was right. The sleep was amazing. And he was so tired, so endlessly, bone-deep tired. The thought of going back to those sleepless nights, to lying awake until dawn, to feeling like a zombie every day, Marcus didn't delete the app. Not that day, not that night. He told himself he needed to figure out what was really happening. Document everything. Maybe go to the police, but deep down he knew the truth. He was scared of losing the sleep. That night, Marcus didn't set up the laptop. He didn't put tape across the door. He just opened SleepSync, put his phone on the nightstand, and closed his eyes. He woke up at 6 a.m. feeling refreshed, perfect sleep score, and a new red path on his map, this time leading somewhere different, somewhere further away. Emma called him that afternoon. "Hey, so I finally saw what you were talking about. The nighttime activity thing. It showed up in my app this morning. Apparently I walked like 3 miles last night. Weird, right?" Marcus should have warned her. Should have told her to delete it immediately. But instead he heard himself say, "Yeah, weird. Probably just a glitch." "Probably," she agreed. "Anyway, I'm sleeping amazing these days. This app is a miracle." "Yeah," Marcus said quietly. "A miracle." Weeks passed. Then months. Marcus kept using SleepSync. He stopped checking the nighttime activity maps. He didn't want to know where he went or what he did while that other part of him was awake and walking. He just knew that he slept better than he ever had in his life. And every morning there was dirt under his fingernails. Sometimes, late at night when he was lying in bed waiting for sleep, Marcus would feel it starting. That smooth, disconnected feeling. Like something was taking the wheel while he drifted away. And he would wonder what he was doing out there in the dark, what tasks he was performing, what he was helping build or hide or deliver. But then the sleep would come, deep and perfect and dreamless. And in the morning, he wouldn't remember anything at all. His apartment began to change in small ways. A shovel appeared in his closet that he didn't remember buying. His car's odometer showed hundreds of extra miles each week. His shoes wore out faster than they should, the soles caked with mud and grass stains. Emma stopped returning his calls after a few weeks. When Marcus finally drove to her apartment, her roommate answered the door with red, swollen eyes. "She's gone," the roommate said. "Just disappeared 3 days ago. Left her phone, her wallet, everything." The police found her car parked on some random street across town. No signs of struggle, no explanation. It's like she just walked away in the middle of the night and never came back. Marcus felt something cold and terrible settle in his chest. He thought about asking if Emma had been using SleepSync, but he already knew the answer. He drove home in silence, his hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly his knuckles turned white. That night, he opened his phone with shaking hands, ready to finally delete the app. But the SleepSync icon was pulsing gently, invitingly. And Marcus was so tired. He'd been tired for so long, even before the app. Tired of the insomnia, tired of dragging through each day like a zombie, tired of being tired. Marcus opened it. The app promised just one more perfect night of sleep, put the phone on his nightstand, closed his eyes. It's been 6 months since Marcus downloaded SleepSync. He doesn't leave his apartment much anymore except for work. His co-workers have noticed the change, the way he seems distracted, distant, like he's only half present. The dark circles under his eyes have vanished, replaced by an unsettling clearness, a too alert quality that doesn't match his increasingly hollow expression. His phone is always within reach now, always charged, always tracking. Last week, Marcus received a notification he'd never seen before. Not a sleep score or a wellness tip. Just a simple message. Thank you for your service. You've completed 147 tasks. Your contribution has been invaluable. He stared at that number. 147 tasks. 147 nights of walking through the city while his conscious mind slept peacefully. 147 mysterious errands for people he'd never met, doing things he couldn't remember. What had he done? What had he carried? Where had he buried things? Who had he helped? Or hurt? Marcus tried to retrace his steps, checking old maps from the app. But most of the locations had been wiped from the history. Only a handful remained random addresses scattered across the city. When he drove past them during the day, they looked ordinary. Houses, warehouses, an old church, a public park. But at one of them, a storage facility on the edge of town, Marcus saw something that made his breath catch. There was police tape stretched across one of the units. Crime scene investigators moving in and out. News vans parked on the street. He turned on the radio. The reporter's voice filled his car. Authorities have discovered evidence linking this location to a series of disappearances over the past 6 months. The investigation is ongoing, but police are asking anyone with information to come forward. Double quotes. Marcus's hands went numb on the steering wheel. His nighttime activity map had shown him at that exact location. 4 weeks ago. 2:37 a.m. to 4:15 a.m. He drove away, heart pounding, sweat soaking through his shirt. He needed to go to the police. He needed to tell them about the app, about the nighttime walks, about everything. But what would he tell them? That a sleep tracking app had made him. What? An accomplice? An unwitting criminal? They'd never believe him. And even if they did, it wouldn't matter. He'd still been there. His DNA, his fingerprints, they'd be all over whatever evidence the police had found. Marcus pulled over on the side of the road and vomited. When he got home that night, he finally tried to delete SleepSync. He held his finger over the app icon, pressing down, waiting for the delete option to appear. The screen flickered. Instead of delete options, a new message appeared. We know you've been having doubts, Marcus. But remember, there's no going back to the way things were. You've already seen what happens to those who stop using the app. Emma learned that lesson. Do you really want to follow her path? His blood ran cold. The message continued. Keep sleeping well. Keep serving. Or wake up one night in a place you don't recognize with no memory of how you got there and no app to track your way home. The choice has always been yours. The message disappeared. The app returned to its normal, cheerful interface. Marcus sat on his bed, phone in his trembling hands, and realized the truth. He'd never had a choice. Not really. From the moment he'd clicked Allow All, he'd signed away something more than just location permissions. That night, like every night, Marcus opened SleepSync, put his phone on the nightstand, and closed his eyes. Because in the end, the sleep was still good, the best he'd ever had. And some prices are easier to pay when you don't remember paying them. The app still has a 4.8-star rating in the store. Millions of downloads. Glowing reviews from users who swear they've never slept better in their lives. Marcus still uses it. Emma's roommate downloaded it last week. Marcus saw it on her phone when they met for coffee. He almost warned her. Almost. But he was so tired that day. and her eyes were so dark with insomnia and grief. Who was he to deny her the comfort of a good night's sleep? Besides, the app was trending now. Everyone was using it. Co-workers, friends, strangers he passed on the street. He could tell by the way they moved through the world with that same disconnected energy, that same dirt under their fingernails. Sometimes Marcus wondered what they were all building out there in the night. What massive, invisible project required hundreds, maybe thousands of sleepwalking people performing mysterious tasks across the city. But wondering took energy, and Marcus was so tired. So every night, he opens the app. Every morning, he wakes refreshed. And whatever happens in the hours between, well, that's someone else's problem, someone else's responsibility. Not Marcus's, never Marcus's. He sleeps too well to care anymore. He couldn't escape it. He was a part of this, whether he remembered it or not. He finally understood the horrifying truth. He'd never had a choice. Not really. What do you think they're building? Let me know your theories in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content like this. Thanks for watching. Sleep well.